Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, FAA proposes a $1.9 million penalty against UAV operator. NTSB releases second report on British Airways Flight 2276 engine failure. Budget problems cause Alaska to ground state helicopters. I'm Bree Cross. It is October 7th, 2015, and this is Airborne Unlimited. The FAA has proposed its largest ever civil penalty against a UAS operator for endangering the safety of operation within the National Airspace system. The FAA proposes a $1.9 million civil penalty against SkyPan International of Chicago. The FAA alleges that between March 21, 2012 and December 15, 2014, SkyPan conducted 65 unauthorized operations in some of our most congested airspace and heavily populated cities, violating airspace regulations and various operating rules. The FAA alleges that the company conducted the unauthorized commercial UAS flights over various locations in New York City and Chicago. Of those 65 flights, 43 flew in the highly restricted New York City Class B airspace. It's alleged these flights were flown without ATC clearance and that SkyPan also did not have a certificate of waiver or authorization for the operations. However, there is a caveat to this story. SkyPan is currently suing the FAA and alleging that the agency does not have the authority to make drone operations illegal because there are no formal regulations regarding drone operations in place. As ANN reported earlier this week, the FAA has missed the congressional deadline for producing these regulations. SkyPan has 30 days after receiving the FAA's enforcement letter to respond to the agency. The engine fire and resulting rejected takeoff of British Airways Flight 2276 on September 8th of this year at Las Vegas McCarran International Airport could have been a disaster if it were not for the skill of its cockpit and cabin crew. Now the NTSB has issued a second report regarding the reason for the engine failure. The NTSB said that investigators disassembled and documented the GE90 engine at the GE facility in Evandale, Ohio. Group members from the FAA, GE, and Boeing, along with the United Kingdom's accredited representative from the Air Accidents Investigation Branch and their technical advisor, British Airways, were in attendance. It's reported the engine examination revealed that a portion of the stage 8 through 10 spool in the high-pressure compressor section had failed, liberating fragments that breached the engine case and cowling. The fracture initiated in the high-pressure compressor stage 8 disc web, which is part of the stage 8 through 10 spool. GE is performing high-priority focused inspections of high-pressure compressor hardware from other GE90 engines. After the break, lack of money grounds police helicopters in Alaska.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Welcome back. If you would like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. What appears to be a budget crunch in Alaska has taken one of 2 helicopters operated by Alaska State Troopers out of service, and a second helicopter may face the same fate. A local news report states that the Alaska State Trooper helicopter based in Fairbanks went in for maintenance in July and has been indefinitely grounded since. Their helicopter based in Anchorage is still flying, but it is not known for how long. Troopers have contracted with outside services for search and rescue missions, but there is a concern that contracted personnel do not have the same kind of specialized training and experience as the Alaska State Trooper air crews. Lieutenant Steve Adams, Search and Rescue Coordinator for the Alaska State Troopers, said that the force is committed to search and rescue missions, but sometimes they are required to contract outside companies, which can take more time and cost more money than flying their own aircraft. With some 2,000 Aero-TV programs webcast to cyberspace, sometimes it can be fun to look back and enjoy some of the places we've seen, the flyers we've met, and the planes we've flown. Here's a look at one of our favorite Aero-TV classic episodes.
I think my favorite part about the seaplanes is it's a relaxed environment. At times, it can be real busy other times, but generally speaking, it's relaxed. It's a very friendly environment.
EAA AirVenture can be fun and exciting and exhausting. If you want to relax, take a trip to the seaplane base. In this video, you'll see how to chill out at AirVenture. Search Lakeside at AirVenture 2009 on Aero-TV's news channel. After these messages, Wings Over the Rockies Air and Space Museum celebrates.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, Navcom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Now certified, Aspen Avionics single-band ADSB ATX100 and ATX100G transceivers are the next-gen ADSB solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. The Wings Over the Rockies Air and Space Museum will celebrate completion of its initial site work for its exploration of Flight Center at Centennial Airport on October 14th. The first aircraft to arrive at the center's new flight ramp will be B-17 Flying Fortress. Everyone is welcome. The House Transportation Committee Subcommittee on Aviation will hold a hearing on issues related to unmanned aircraft system safety. Increases in reported UAS sightings by pilots and air traffic controllers have raised safety questions among stakeholders and the public. Aspen Avionics has added 2 new sales and support staff to its ranks. Regional Sales Manager Steve Lawson will handle the Western U.S. and Canada, and Charlie Reich is named the Central UAS Field Service Engineer. Alberta, Canada-based Eagle Copters has delivered another fully refurbished Bell 205A-1++ to the San Diego County Sheriff's Department. The helicopter was completely refurbished and highly customized with mission-specific equipment. Hartzell Propeller has appointed RUAG Aviation in Ladrino, Switzerland as a recommended service facility. The maintenance, repair, and overhaul facility covers a wide area of Central Europe. RUAG Aviation's Ladrino facility is an EASA and FAA-approved repair station. Well, that's our trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. Talks between United Airlines and the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, represented aviation maintenance technicians and related workers, stalled late last week. According to Clacy Griswold, lead negotiator for the Teamsters, quote, "Delta and American are setting the pace and United is dragging its feet. Our hard-working aviation professionals deserve industry-leading pay and benefits and will settle for nothing less," end quote. Griswold added that the company continues to trail the industry standard in compensation after having the most profitable quarters in its history. He said, quote, "We hoped to see a change in the airline's attitude towards its workers under the new leadership of CEO Oscar Munoz, but that has yet to be seen. The Teamsters Airline Division represents 9,000 aircraft maintenance technicians and related workers at United Airlines and over 80,000 workers in the aviation industry. Well, that's our program for today. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. Please join us and a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news from the staff of the Aero-News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource.